Well, hi there, and welcome to the Alpha Male 2.0 podcast. Here we are once again. Just so you know, I have another podcast that is also once a week called the Sovereign CEO Podcast, where we discuss location-independent income, business, 5 flags, international lifestyle. If you want to subscribe to that podcast as well, you should go to calebjones.com/podcast. And we are hosted at all of the usual podcast platforms. Plus, if you didn't know, if you were listening to this podcast on an audio format, I also do a video version of this podcast at my Alpha Male 2.0 channel and YouTube. I have two YouTube channels, but you can go to alphamale20.com/links and you get all the links there for all my stuff. A common question I have been getting lately, and this unfortunately is due to the rise and fall of Andrew Tate and similar characters, and that is the concept of loyalty. So what has basically happened is we have started to overcorrect. Men have been so beaten down over the past 10, 15 years or so. You get the rise of people like Andrew Tate, who I've already talked about. I did a whole YouTube video on him, who I generally like, but he lives completely in an alpha male 1.0 world. And so a lot of guys, a lot of beta males or wannabe alpha male 1.0s are starting to duplicate the stuff that he talks about. And that is largely around the concept of loyalty, fidelity, and other right-wing traditional conservative 1952 values. And so a lot of you are asking questions about, well, what about, how can I be in an alpha male 2.0 relationship where it's non-monogamous? How does loyalty factor in? Or you watch a bunch of Andrew Tate videos and you come over to my stuff and I say, just don't tell her what to do and let her do whatever she wants. And non-monogamy, you're like, what the fuck? How do you possibly do that? You have to have her be loyal, right? Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. So I'm going to discuss how loyalty operates in an alpha male 2.0 universe. Now, several items when it comes to loyalty, and I've discussed this in my other content before. Number one, top of the list, when you demand loyalty, quote unquote, from a woman you are dating, this is what it means. And guys, don't think this shit through. This is what it means. It means that you now have to monitor her 24/7 to make sure she is loyal. So here's a real simple example. You start dating a girl, you're not even that serious, and you pull up all your Andrew Tate superpowers, all of your alpha male 1.0 outcome dependence, and you say, you better not fuck any other guy now that we're having sex, bitch. And maybe you don't use those words, but that's what you say. And she says, oh, okay. And she kind of like rolls her eyes. Oh yeah, okay, I won't fuck anyone else except you. Yeah, all right. I'll make sure to get off Tinder and I won't respond to anyone on Instagram anymore. Yes, master. She says that to you, okay? Well, guess what you now have to do? How do you know she's gonna follow through on that? You don't know. So what do you have to do? You're gonna now have to monitor her. You're now gonna have to be her daddy and you're gonna have to follow her around. I don't mean literally, but figuratively. You're gonna have to follow her around, pay attention to what she does every day, always text her all the fucking time and ask her where she is and who she's with. And if you're gonna be extreme alpha male 1.0, you'll say, take a picture of where you are right now. I wanna see right now. And you're gonna have to watch her social media like a hawk and make sure she doesn't like any guy's videos or put any comments on the guy's pictures or any of that shit. Is that how you wanna spend your time? I don't know about you. I have important things to do. I am a very busy man. I have a strong mission. I have companies to run. I have 5 flags. I have women to have sex with. I have a great life that I like to focus on. Why would I put my wonderful life on pause to go babysit some chick to make sure she didn't do anything I didn't like? That's fucking stupid. And when I talk about alpha male 2.0, we're the happy alphas. Alpha male 1.0s are the ones who are happy sometimes and furious other times. And the reason the alpha male 1.0, the Andrew Tate type people, can never be consistently happy is because they're spending all this goddamn time watching all their women or woman, depending on what model you're following, to make sure that she's loyal, because she needs to be loyal. So that's problem number one. Do you want to spend the rest of your fucking life babysitting some chick? What a stupid, horrible, needy, beta thing to want to do with your life. Guys who want to do this, whenever I see guys do this, I go, you have nothing to do. You got nothing else going on in your life. You don't have any businesses that you find important to you. You don't have any important projects. You're not focused on your fitness. You're not focused on any of that shit. You're focused on your bitch, right? Your chick. And that's probably what you call her. All right. Problem number 2. Do you think a young, attractive woman, when she makes that promise, is actually going to follow through on it? Do you know the number of women I've had sex with over the past 15, 16 years, however long I've lived as an alpha male 2.0 in this wonderful life? Do you realize how many women I've had sex with who had boyfriends? Do you realize what that number is? It's kind of staggering. I don't sleep with married women. I think that's a whole different level of problems. But girls with boyfriends or quote unquote boyfriends, women cheat. And the younger she is and the hotter she is, the more likely she is to cheat. Now, if cheating is just too much for your brain to wrap your head around, I'm talking about other things that aren't necessarily cheating, but things that are disrespectful, quote unquote, or disloyal, quote unquote, like texting her ex-boyfriend or having an Instagram DM conversation with a cute guy. That would enrage you as an alpha male 1.0, even though she didn't get sexual or touch anybody, right? Right. What are the odds that the woman who has made this promise to you because you bullied her into it is actually going to follow through and never do anything disloyal or disrespectful or certainly cheating or anything like cheating? Especially if she's younger, especially if she's better looking. The odds are near zero in the modern era. So that means when you're wasting all this goddamn time trying to monitor her dumbass to make sure she doesn't do anything disloyal or whatever the fuck excuse you're using, you're going to find something that she does do that is quote unquote disloyal, because your list of things that are disloyal is 10,000 items long. So certainly she's going to do something that will piss you off. And now you're pissed off. You're not happy anymore. Congratulations, you've just murdered your own happiness. Congratulations. I hope that feels good to go, God damn it, why is she texting her ex-boyfriend? Rawr! And then what are you going to do? Are you going to say, oh, well, I don't give a fuck, like an outcome independent alpha male 2.0? No, your fucking head is going to explode and you're going to pick up the phone and you're going to scream at her and send her a bunch of texts. And the next time you see her in person, you're going to have this huge fucking argument that goes something like this. You better not da 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 da. And she'll say, well, I didn't do that, or that's not a big deal, or fuck you, you can't tell me what to do. Any one of those things are going to cause your brain to even more explode. And now you have an argument and now you're even less happy. Do you see why guys who demand loyalty and respect, these alpha male 1.0 type guys, these traditional conservative type guys, can't be long-term happy? It's not possible. They give a fuck too much. It's a completely outcome dependent mindset. It sucks. That's why I've said happiness or control, choose one, because you can't have both. If you choose control as an alpha male 1.0 or 1.0 type beta male, there's a few of those, fine, have fun trying to control your woman or women, and you'll never be consistently happy like me. Ever. Never. Or you could say, fuck control, I want to be happy, and you can be happy the rest of your life like me. I don't know which one you're going to choose. I know which one I've chosen. So that's the context. Now let's go into more specifics. As many of you know, or maybe you didn't know, and under the Alpha Male 2.0 relationship model system, there are three types of relationships. There are FBs, MLTRs, and OLTR. FB is a friend with benefits. It's a woman you hook up with. She's your friend, but you don't date her. You don't spend the night with her, that kind of stuff. MLTR is a woman that you are dating, someone you like, but you're non-monogamous and non-exclusive. So you can date other women. You can have multiple MLTRs. You can have multiple FBs. OLTR is the alpha male equivalent of a girlfriend or a wife if you live with her. And that means that you can have sex with other women, but you can't date other women. It is a sexually open relationship, but it is emotionally exclusive. So I have an OLTR, my wife, Pink Firefly is my OLTR wife. So I have sex with other women, and I do every week, but I am not allowed to date other women, and I don't want to date other women, or else I would never have had an OLTR. I would have stuck with MLTRs, which, by the way, I did for over a decade, and it was wonderful. And I got tired of that. I'm a 50-year-old man. I don't want to do that anymore. I wanted just one woman for my relationship life, but still have sex with other women. That way, my one woman does not own my balls, because long-term monogamy doesn't work. So those are the three model sets. Now let's examine each one in terms of respect and authority and loyalty. Starting with FBs, and I've said this thousands of times, if a woman is an FB, you shouldn't give a shit. You should not care if she's loyal at all in terms of sexually or whatever she does in her personal life. She's just a fuck buddy. Who the fuck cares? I cannot think of anything more stupid than guys who get worked up because one of their fuck buddies flirts with another guy, or God forbid, hooks up with another guy. Why do you care? You're not even dating her. Not only is she not your girlfriend, you're not going to marry her. You're not going to settle down with her. You're not going to have kids with her. You're never going to move in with her. You're not even dating her. She's just a friend with benefits. Why do you care? I submit to you that if you demand loyalty, and sexual loyalty and respect and authority from your FBs, your friend with benefits, you're stupid. I don't know what the fuck you're smoking. That doesn't make any sense. I get it with your wife. That I understand. I'll address that in a minute. I understand that. Some random chick you're hooking up with? Who the fuck cares? Are you insane? No. So if that's your attitude, you need to revamp that shit really quick, or have fun living a life of misery and pain and suffering and anger, up and down happiness, of happiness, misery, happiness, misery, happiness, misery, which is the model of the alpha male 1.0. The next one is the MLTR, woman you're dating. Why should you care about loyalty here? You're dating other women. So if you find that she does something you don't like, why scream and yell at her and give her a bunch of rules and demands and have a bunch of arguments? If you don't like what she does, then don't see her, or what I call downgrade the relationship from MLTR to FB and focus on your other MLTRs. It's not a big deal. That's the beauty of dating multiple women, is that you don't need to have any one woman follow all the fucking rules. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't care. And if you were saying, well, I had high hopes for this girl and I was hoping she wouldn't do that. Well, she did that. And now you can cross her off the list for an OLTR candidate, which is how you find an OLTR. You date several MLTRs over a period, and the best one rises to the top. I've talked about this before. It's called the cream of the crop model. And if she does something really inappropriate, like she goes out and bangs a bunch of guys at a bar without wearing condoms one night, then clearly you would cross her off the list of contention for OLTR. It is a screening tool. Just think of it that way. But again, if you're dating 2, 3, 4 women, 2 MLTRs, 2 FBs, and one of your MLTRs does something you consider disloyal, why do you care? You have 3 other women. That's the other part of this, is that you'll notice that this loyalty stuff tends to be within a monogamous framework and a monogamous mindset. Monogamy doesn't fucking work long-term. You're stupid if you behave in a monogamous fashion long-term. That doesn't fucking work, especially in the modern era where women can do whatever the fuck they want and you have internet and smartphones. It's just fucking dumb. You're expecting things that made sense to expect back in 1952, when women didn't have the freedom they do, or the economic freedoms they have, or Tinder, or smartphones, or social media, or all these other things. Expecting loyalty or things like that in 1952 or 1877 made some sense. Expecting it today in the Western world, in the modern era, in the 21st century, in the 2020s, you're just stupid, or you like feeling negative emotions. You're one of these guys that likes being angry. All right, so now let's cover your OLTR, your girlfriend, or if you live with her, your wife, because I have one of those too. Now, yes, now you have both entered into a zone where loyalty does have some effect on the relationship. That is true. OLTR means you have both made a commitment to each other, which you did not make when you were dating MLTRs or FBs, where you will be emotionally exclusive. OLTR is an emotionally exclusive relationship. So that means that you are both allowed to hook up with other people as long as the sex doesn't mean anything, as long as you're not dating other people. But Caleb, women can't do that. I'll cover that in a second. Take a deep breath and relax. So that's the commitment you're making. So I'll give you my example. In my relationship, my marriage to Pink Firefly, I am allowed to go have sex with other women, and I do every week, pretty much every week. It's just what I do. I'm a guy. Long-term monogamy doesn't work. I'm not going to rely on one woman to be monogamous too, because eventually, if I want to have sex with her, especially if you live with her, she'll say no, and then I'll be stuck jerking off the porn. That's beta. I'm not doing that. So because I don't want to do that, I have other women, and I will for the rest of my life until I'm very, very, very old. And my wife is well aware of this. That was a condition of our marriage. However, I am not allowed to date other women. So I can't go on dates. I can't spend the night with women. I can't do that kind of thing, because that would be a violation of the commitment that I made to my wife. And yes, she has made that commitment to me. She is allowed to have sex with other men. She doesn't. She doesn't want to. She's 42. And the older a woman gets, the higher her ASD rises, so the less likely she'll want to do it. I've covered that in great detail in other videos on my YouTube channel and podcast and in my books and my blogs. So a lot of women, most women for the most part, do not do that because they don't want to. Women are not like guys, but I've discussed that to death already. So she doesn't have sex with other men, but she is allowed to, but she cannot have an emotional relationship or dating relationship with another man. She is not allowed to do that. So let me give you a real specific example. This is a hypothetical, but it's specific. Would I get really mad if she hooked up with some other guy? As long as the guy was wearing a condom, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't love it, but I wouldn't get mad because I like to be happy. I'm not going to police her behavior. I don't fucking care. I'm not independent. I have a wonderful life. I'm not going to spend all my time freaking out about this. I think that is silly and stupid. I just covered that a few minutes ago. However, what if she started dating a guy? What if she started texting guys saying, I'm falling in love with you, or I want to be with you? Or what if she was having like long 2-hour conversations on the phone with an ex-boyfriend or something like that, with real emotional component and things like that? Yes, that would be a problem. That would be an issue. Now, here's how I would handle it. I would not go and say, God damn it, you were disrespectful. Blah, 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 blah. It would be a very simple conversation because, again, I don't do drama. That's what alpha male 1.0s do and beta males. Alpha male 2.0 is above that shit. So what I would do is very simple. I would say, do you love him? And if she said yes, well, let's say she said no. And I would say, you don't love him. Do you have feelings for him? And you know what I mean by feelings. She's not stupid. She understands what that means. If she said, yes, I have feelings for him, and or yes, I love him, then it would be very simple. I would say, okay, perfectly fine. You have every right to do that. You have violated the terms of our agreement. We are no longer married. I will file divorce papers tomorrow. We'll still be friends. We can still date. We can still have sex. We can still hang out. I'm not mad. I'm not screaming. I'm not yelling. Would I be sad? Yes, I'd be sad. So I am exaggerating how happy I would be. It's not like I would be happy about it. I'd probably say this a little more somberly, but this is what I would say. You are now no longer an OLTR. I wouldn't say those words, but that's how it would happen in my brain. She is no longer an OLTR. We're no longer married. We're not going to live together anymore. She'd have to move out, and she'd be out within 48 hours, or I would be, depending on the scenario. But I would not be upset because I know how women work. Fine. I would be a little disappointed. I wouldn't be happy about this. I'm not saying I'd be happy, but I would move on, and I would still probably keep seeing her as an FB or MLTR. Perfectly fine. Now, guess what? In that scenario, who would be the one freaking out? It'd be her, not me. She would freak out. Whoa, okay. Now, you could have all kinds of specific scenarios where maybe she didn't love him, but she started to have feelings for him. She'd say, okay, look, I'm sorry. I made a huge mistake here. I'm never going to see him again. I'm going to block my phone. Never. And you, as the man, could make a case-by-case basis and decide what you want to do there. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably end, or in my case, downgrade the relationship to something else. But see, even if she violated the loyalty aspect of this, I wouldn't be like, you better not do that. You disrespected me and how dare you? I mean, again, I wouldn't be happy about it. Again, like I keep repeating that, I wouldn't be happy about it. But you can see the difference in how I would react versus how someone like Andrew Tate or these alpha male 1.0 wannabes would react. And moreover, the only thing she's not allowed to do in our relationship is to date other men or have hardcore feelings for other men. She's allowed to do everything else. I don't tell Pink Firefly what to do. I'm not allowed to. However, she's not allowed to tell me what to do. So she can do whatever she wants. She has her own money. She has her own life. She has her own car. She has her own schedule. She does whatever she wants with her life. It's her choice. I don't tell her what to do because if I told her what to do, I'd have to monitor to make sure she did it. And then if she didn't do it, I have to get mad and pissed off. And I have more important fucking things to do with my time. Hopefully you do too. But a lot of these loyalty guys don't, which is kind of sad. So that's it. That's the bottom line on loyalty and respect and all that other alpha male 1.0 bullshit that unfortunately guys like Andrew Tate has made more popular on the internet. I prefer my lifestyle model. I think I'm a lot happier. Matter of fact, I don't think, I know. I am a lot happier on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis than Andrew Tate. I know this for a fact because I follow very different relationship models than he does. And I want you to be happy. I want you to adopt models that increase your happiness, not increase your anger just to make you look more alpha or whatever. That's it for this week. Certainly join my other podcast if you want, and I will see you in the next podcast next week. Have fun. Bye.